so dramatic. He opened the collar, thumb with his shirt, and kissed his throat. Can't live without her. One read chapter 23. Oh, I fucking hate this. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting video because I am going to be doing a reading vlog of Chain of Thorns. So this is post Chain of Thorns. This vlog is already long enough, so I'm gonna keep this intro as sweet and short as possible. This whole video is not spoiler free, so if you do not want to be spoiled at all by this book, please click out of this video because you are going to be spoiled the whole way through. If you have read this book or if you do want to be spoiled, you are welcome to continue watching this whole reading vlog. It's a roller coaster of emotions and I am so excited to just finally get this video out because it's been a long time coming. So yeah, I'm not going to talk any further. You're going to see all of my thoughts, all of my reactions, all of my emotions, and my final thoughts about this book in this video. It's a long video, so grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, get a snack, and let's jump right into this reading vlog. Hi friends, so today is my first day of reading Chain of Thorns. It's currently 3:30 and 21st of February, which is 1 week before the end of February, which is why I decided to read this book because I want to make sure that I get to finish this in February to include in my wrap-up. And I gave it time from the second book to the third book because I don't want to fall into a reading slump. I'm excited to finally start this book. I cannot wait for the series to end, but at the same time I'm really sad that the series is going to end. It's just so complicated. I have a lot of feelings about this book and I'm not ready for the pain and the suffering that I'm going to go through. Anyway, I am about to leave for the airport. Actually, I have to pick my sister up in like 20 minutes, so we'll only get a few pages in, but I might bring this in the car ride with me to read and we'll see. I'm so excited. I'm so ready to like annotate this book as well. Let's stop rambling and actually get into this book, and I will update you guys when I have updates. It's currently 6 p.m. and I did not do any reading in the car. I got migraines from the reading in the car. Sorry about that, my dog is playing with his toy. Now back home. So I did not do a lot of reading. I did like 5 pages or so. So right now I'm at page 16. It's not been like super exciting. I mean, obviously I knew what was going to happen in the first few pages because of what happened in Chain of Iron. We are excited to see what's going to happen next. So I am going to continue reading and I'll give you guys more updates as we continue. Also, my sister just got back from Japan. She bought this for him. So he's going ham. He's insane. Look at him. Oh my gosh. It is currently 11:30 p.m. the next day. No, I did not do any reading yesterday night.
I had to work and I was asleep super early because I had to go to the embassy this morning.
And the whole day today I was just working.
And I had like this little crochet project that I wanted to do, so that took a lot of my time.
I'm gonna try my best to read a lot more tomorrow because I think I have a lot more time tomorrow. I'm gonna get ready for bed. I'm going to read my book. Hopefully I get like at least 30 pages in. I will update you guys tomorrow and see how things go. Hopefully I get some reading done. I did not just do that. work, but I'm pretty happy that I'm like at least almost 50 pages in. If you read Chain of Iron, then you'll probably know that Cordelia and Matthew went to Paris together. And I'm just curious to see how that relationship's gonna go. I'm curious to see what James is gonna do, because right now he is on the search for Lucy, who went into hiding because she called up Jesse Blackthorn and made him alive. Thomas and Alistair's relationship, I think, is one of the ones that I'm like, I just want them to get together so bad.
Christopher and Grace Blackthorn.
Like, I knew they were gonna get together, because if you own Clockwork Princess, there's like this family chart that Cassandra Clare made, and Grace and Christopher was put together, like they were married. So that's how I knew that they were gonna end up together. Anyway, I'm going to work because I have to work. Hopefully by like 3 or 4 p.m. I'll have time to read. I really need to get through this book by this month, and I have like only 5 days left, and this book is 770 pages. So if we do the math, I have to read at least 120 per day, 110 per day, no, 160 per day, 150 per day. You get the gist of it. I'm gonna work, and then I'll update you guys when I start reading again, or if anything happens. I finally reached chapter 7, page 128. Like the few pages before this. Ooh, it was so dramatic. They were kissing. Matthew and Cordelia were kissing, and James was in the room. I don't even know, like, I don't even know what's gonna happen. Oh my gosh, this is just so dramatic. I don't know how James and Matthew will get back from this, but ugh. So it is currently 11 p.m. and I just got done with crocheting my jacket, the one that's like right behind me. After I ate dinner, I barely read, but right now I am going to do some night reading. I love night reading the most. I am aiming to get to page 200, but I'm not sure how it's gonna go. Update, I am at chapter 9. I wanted to give an update. I felt like the past few chapters that I've been reading were just very loaded with information and very heavy, so I wanted to talk about it. I even wrote like a whole post-it, and I usually don't like to write like notes and stuff in my books. I was so you know, frustrated once again, frustrated by this book. I really hated the fact that Matthew was lying the entire time. Cordelia made him promise not to drink if she went to Paris with him, but apparently every morning he has been sent a bottle of brandy or like absinthe, and James was the one that revealed the lie because he didn't know that he didn't know Matthew promised Cordelia about the drinking thing. Obviously he didn't know, and James didn't tell Cordelia about the bracelet, about her powers. He says just because he doesn't want her to pity him, blah blah blah. I feel like if he told her, things would have been different.
I would not be this frustrated.
It's just, I felt like Cordelia would understand. She's a big, I don't know that she's a big guy, but she's not a big guy. She's very mature. I think she would understand. Lots of Will, lots of Magnus. I really like it. I like tabbed a lot of Faith moments, and most of them, there's Will in it. I like the Alistair and Thomas scenes. They're really cute. Love them. I'm gonna continue. This is page 157. I'm reading very slowly. I don't know why, but every single time I read the Last Hour series, I just read really slowly. The first 2 books also took me a really long time. I probably will be reading a chapter and then I will be going to sleep. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I have read for more than an hour. I'm now at chapter 15. This is page 267. So I've read a substantial amount. I started this morning off at page 184. I'm almost 100 pages in, which is always such a good thing. And basically it's just a lot of sadness because Cordelia still doesn't know if she wants to be with James or if she wants to pick Matthew. And Matthew and James's relationship is kind of strained because of that. There comes Lucy and Cordelia's problem because Lucy hid things from Cordelia, befriended Grace, and Cordelia doesn't like Grace. And then there's an Alistair and Thomas kiss scene before chapter 15. And I love that one. I think I like their relationship the most. I feel like it's just not centered around a lot of pain and suffering. It's just Alistair is unable to receive love, not because he doesn't want to be loved, but because he thinks he doesn't deserve to be loved. And also the fact that the Merry Thieves, like, they technically hate Alistair, even though that, to me, I feel like it's just an excuse. He just doesn't feel like he deserves to be loved. So I will be continuing reading maybe like in a few hours. I want to take a break first because I'm very tired with the events that have unfurled. So far, it's been great, but I must say that the romance and like the plot, I feel like I enjoyed the first 2 books a lot more than this one. I will catch up with you guys once I have more updates with this book. We're heading off to a good start.
Oh wow.
I have to pause the reading. Guys, chapter 23. Please go and read chapter 23. Whatever complaints I've been having about James not telling Cordelia about the bracelet, this is the chapter. So I'll give an update once I finish reading this portion because I am not going to stop reading. Like, I can't. This is what I've been waiting for. Oh my gosh. Aww, guys. Oh my god. Oh, this is exactly what I'm reading right now. I I don't remember when was the last time I updated. Yeah, I don't remember exactly where I stopped with the book on Friday. The most important thing that happened to me that was important was that finally Cordelia knows about the bracelet. So that was what happened in chapter 23. And actually James didn't tell her. It was Grace who told her. Grace with the help of Christopher. I think pace wise I'm pretty okay because right now I stopped at page 464. I wanted to talk about like what happened. I felt like my recap wasn't very good because I felt like I was all over the place. There were so many things going on and I didn't really give a substantial recap. I only mentioned that I really liked the fact that Cordelia found out about the bracelet and that was it. But actually a lot happened since I last updated, because I'm pretty sure I updated, the last time I updated was like when I read chapter 15, and since then I've actually read almost, no, not almost, more than 200 pages, and a lot has happened since chapter 15. Also, by the way, I'm so sorry, I know you guys can probably hear it, but I think my dog is snoring in his sleep. Hopefully it's not that annoying and hopefully it's not that loud, and if you guys can hear it, I apologize. Throughout the 200 pages I ever got to update you guys, basically Matthew admitted to himself that he's an alcoholic, so he is now finally getting the help that he needs and he requires, and the Merry Thieves are helping him with the alcoholism. Christopher made some sort of like mix that's supposed to help wean him off of alcohol, because when you're an alcoholic, when you try to wean yourself off of it, you end up with like withdrawal symptoms and it's really bad. So Christopher made a whole concoction to wean him off properly, and it was really cute. I think the scene of them all sleeping and accompanying Matthew was really cute. Let me show you guys the like picture, because they did have a picture.
So cute. I love this picture so much.
And Cordelia, on the other hand, she's still struggling with the fact that she can't hold Cortana, so a lot of the times she doesn't fight. And to her, that's kind of like a low blow. She figured she would use her position as the paladin of Lilith to question demons, because sometimes when the demons see her, they don't dare to attack her knowing that she's a paladin of Lilith. What happens is that she tried like calling upon demons and she got into trouble. She almost killed herself, but
James was there to save the day.
and when James saved her, he was going on a spiel about how he loves her, like he can't live without her, and they kissed. That was their first kiss in this book. I'm pretty sure it's their first kiss in this book. And Cordelia was really mindful of the fact that she has yet to talk about things with Matthew as well. So this is not gonna end well. Like Cordelia has figured out that she loves James, and so Matthew is just like, on top of his alcoholism, he needs to take care of his heartbreak. And that just to me is like so sad. He doesn't deserve it, you know, he doesn't deserve all that kind of heartbreak. This is why in the beginning I never really liked their love triangle, because I knew it was never gonna end well for Matthew. It wasn't like the Infernal Devices where I felt like all the three of them, they got their happy ending, but this one is just like he ends up being broken. And then as for Alistair and Thomas, they just go back and forth constantly. They kind of confirm their feelings for each other, but Alistair doesn't want to act on his feelings because again, he just doesn't think that he deserves that kind of love. He thinks that he needs to move to Terran to accompany his mom because Sana is having another kid. Which also reminds me, the family tree, Cordelia and Alistair's sibling, the baby is not in the family tree. I don't know why, and I don't want to think of the worst,
But I am thinking of the worst right now.
that means that the baby just never came to the world. Anyway, Christopher and Grace, their relationship is growing. Oh, and also Lucy figured out that there was something wrong with her, because every time Lucy and Jesse get a little bit intimate, she ends up like, I'm not sure what happens, but it seems like she's falling into the shadow realm as well. Similar to James, but a little bit different, and it has something to do with her connection with Peliel. And then most of the like last few chapters before I stopped, is about the Christmas party. So Will and Tessa had a Christmas party in the Institute, and then Tatiana Blackthorne stormed into the party and proceeded to steal Alexander, which is Christopher's brother. Jesse and James, they decided to go and track Tatiana to Christopher's house because Jesse believes that Tatiana will hurt Alexander in his own home. And so they went there. She was actually there. But the weird thing was that it was actually very easy to capture her and to bring her to the Silent City. Tatiana took Grace's powers. There's something happening in the Silent City. I'm not really sure because I'm not there yet. But something's happening in the Silent City. Tatiana just don't know what she did. She was able to open Grace's cell door. She was able to go inside and take out Grace's powers. Also, Tatiana revealed the fact that Tessa's dad is Belial, so now everybody knows that James and Lucy have connections with their grandfather. And I think that was the whole point, was that she wanted to reveal that the Herondales had connections to Belial and that they were not to be trusted. It's a whole ass problem. Everyone just wants to blame the Herondales. They're gonna get trialed by the Mortal Sword. So they all went to Idris. The kids stayed back to take care of the Institute. Now the one who's the head of the Institute is Charles. And Charles is an asshole basically, but also he might be the one that the Inquisitor Bridgestock is blackmailing, possibly because he's gay. Never mentioned this, but Ariadne left her house because she realized that her dad, the Inquisitor, has been blackmailing somebody, and it's now been revealed that it's Charles. And so she left her home and went to live with Anna. And also that part of the plot, Anna and Ariadne, is just so frustrating also to watch unfold. Not even watch, read unfold. I feel like the only happiness I get is when Alistair and Thomas appears on my book because I love them so much every time they appear. That's about it. Okay, I think I'm done with my update. That's about it. That's the recap. I'm gonna continue reading again. I'm currently at page 480. I have stopped at the point where James has told everybody about what happened with the bracelet, and then Matthew, my poor Matthew, he realized that James actually loved Cordelia all along, so obviously he's gonna yield. But it's really sad. Honestly, I don't know how Matthew is surviving. Christopher and Thomas and Matthew are playing card games. Alistair dropped by because he wanted to be of emotional support to Thomas, but I think he also wanted to help Matthew with his problems. Not only is he alcoholic, not only did he lost his love, but he also has to deal with Charles being an asshole. Maybe I'll update you guys tomorrow because I don't think I will read a lot tonight. I'm very tired. Today is Monday, 27 February, and I just took a shower. I just finished doing work stuff, so I finally have time to read, and it's currently 5:15, and so it is a little bit later in the day, but I was just very busy this morning. From my last updated, I didn't read a lot. I think I read a chapter, a few pages or so. Right now I'm at chapter 25, page 495. I read a few pages, but those pages were pretty intense. Tatiana Blackthorne apparently took over the Silent City. Grace Blackthorne appeared in the Institute where all the kids are currently at. She went there to tell them that the Silent City was taken by Tatiana Blackthorne, and apparently she had these demons possess Silent Brothers and Iron Sisters that passed away, and they were buried in the Iron Tomb or something like that. Basically, these demons, they possessed all of these Silent Brothers and Iron Sisters' bodies, and so that's why Grace Blackthorne said that they look like Silent Brothers, but they're not Silent Brothers. Tatiana has come to the Institute to fight all of these kids because the adults are all in Idris, but I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention the fact that Lucy, she made use of her new power. Ever since she woke Jesse Blackthorne up, she was able to fall into the shadow realm whenever she and Jesse get a little bit intimate, and so she tried going back into the shadow realm purposely, and she saw a few snippets, but she wasn't sure what it was about. I want to read more, but also at the same time I'm very scared because it is so intense and I know that nothing good is gonna come out of this. I am pretty sure. I am saying this right now. James and Cordelia are gonna get separated somehow. Every time they have something good coming to them, something bad is gonna come up and they're gonna separate.
My favorite couple of all time.
So I'm gonna continue reading this book and I'll give you guys more updates as I read on. I am at page 498 and we have an Alistair and Thomas kissing scene. Thomas tore at Alistair's coat, yanking the buttons free. He wanted to feel Alistair, feel the shape of him, not just crumpled wool under his hands. Alistair was leaning over him, his eyes black as a starless night. He opened the collar of Thomas's shirt and kissed his throat. Like this paragraph, guys, this paragraph. Look at this. I am unwell. Page 530. What is going on? Cordelia killed Tatiana with the help of Lilith, and Christopher is dead? They were in battle, and Tatiana wanted to take Cordelia because she is the bearer of Cortana, and essentially Belial doesn't like Cortana because there is this thing where if he gets stabbed 3 times, he will perish, even though technically Prince of Hell cannot perish. Christopher was the closest to Cordelia, and so Christopher tried to protect her and ended up getting stabbed by this sword, and he's dead. What? But it's all the family tree. The family tree's lying to me. I'm gonna cry because I love the Merry Thieves. Why the heck does he have to die? But yeah, this is the part where Cordelia is killing Tatiana with the help of Lilith. That's where we're at. I am not okay. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up. Oh my god. Thomas and Alistair, as you guys remember, they were in the carriage, so they were not there for the fight with Tatiana. And when Thomas came back, he was surprised, obviously, that Christopher was dead, and he blamed himself for not being there during the fight. And Matthew said that if he was there, he might have been dead too. And I quote, "And then I would have to live with not just a quarter of my heart cut out, but half of it gone." Oh, even saying it out loud is so sad. Oh my gosh. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I fucking hate this. Guys, I just cannot stop crying. Like, the few pages after this chapter is like intermission grief. It's not even a chapter, it's like an intermission part of like Cordelia being really sad that James and Matthew's gone. And there was one part that said that Thomas, he was the last of the Merry Thieves who left in this world, the last of 4. And I just cannot. I'm like very sad. I hate this so much. Why do I have to go through this much pain? Good morning. It is currently 11:30 a.m. and it is 28 February, the last day of February, and I will be finishing Chain of Thorns today. Update is I am currently at page 614. Yesterday night I read a pretty decent amount. I read like 50 plus pages since I last updated you guys. Pretty sure the last update I had was that intermission part where Cordelia was grieving over the fact that James is gone. I don't think I explained it properly, but basically Tatiana had brought in these demons possessing Silent Brothers and Iron Sisters that has passed, and they're called the Watchers. These Watchers, they cannot die. And Grace ended up telling Lucy that she could save this whole situation by calling up Rupert Blackthorn, who is Tatiana's husband and Jesse's dad. And essentially Rupert told Tatiana that she's doing a very wrong thing and that he has renounced her as his wife even though he's actually dead. Tatiana ran away after hearing that because she was sad about it, and Cordelia killed Tatiana with the help of Lilith. Tatiana died, right? But the Watchers are still alive and they're under Belial's control. Cordelia went back to the Institute after killing Tatiana. She realized that Christopher's dead, and then the Watchers that Belial's controlling came to the Institute. I'm pretty sure they explained this in the first 2 books, or I'm not sure when specifically and which book, but basically Belial is the only prince of hell that is not allowed to walk in earth. So all this time he actually wants to possess James, but obviously James is not allowing him to do that. And if he possesses mundanes, he is so powerful that his possession will burn them. I just realized that there's like this sound from just now, and I think it's the washer going off. Okay, I think sounds done. Belial cannot possess humans. It's because their bodies are not capable of handling the fire and his power, essentially. So what he did was he called up some mundanes and he started possessing them one by one. So as he negotiated with James, Cordelia, and Jesse, these mundanes that he was possessing started to burn one by one. So at first it was a woman, and as he possessed this woman's body, this woman starts to disintegrate into ashes, and then once this woman's dead, he changes to another mundane, and James finally agreed to go to Edom with him when he possessed a little girl. That's the part when I was crying, when I didn't really know what was happening, but I was so sad because James was wrenched away from Cordelia's hands and taken to Edom. But before he disappeared with the fire and the smoke and the shadow, Matthew grabbed hold onto him, and so James and Matthew both disappeared. So they're both in Edom, they're gone. We don't know what happened to them, we don't know what's going on with them, and Christopher's dead. So the last of the merry thieves, Thomas, is just heartbroken. Also, Belial basically made the whole of London kind of inhabitable. There's barely any sunlight so that the demons can actually walk in the streets of London. The mundanes in London, they're just walking aimlessly. They don't know what they're doing. Downrollers are also pretty much the same. They can converse a little bit, but they're pretty much also insane. Belial closed off all sort of communication, any escape routes, and he only gave 36 hours for every single Nephilim who wanted to escape to Idris to escape in that 36 hours. He opened like a portal in York, and that's the only way to go to Idris. Every single Nephilim went to go to Idris. All of like the little minor characters, the Nephilim minor characters like Augustus Pounceby, Rosamund Wentworth, those people, they decided that they wanted to go to Idris. Charles also went to Idris. Sana, Cordelia's mom, went to Idris. But these 8 people,
So Anna, Ariadne, Thomas, Lucy, Cordelia, Grace, Jesse,
Oscar, I'm missing somebody.
Alistair.
These 8 people, they decided that they're gonna stay in London because they wanted to wait for James and Matthew to come back, because they believe that these 2 are safe and secure. These 8, they didn't tell anyone about their plan, so the moment they went through the portal closed, and so they're now stuck in London. They all devised a plan.
Anna and Ariadne are gonna find more portals and see if they can actually escape. Thomas and Alistair is gonna find a way to kill the Watchers. Lucy and Cordelia, at first they're supposed to go and find help by asking Downworlders, but apparently they're all also insane, so it's useless. Jesse and Grace is going to help send messages by using the fire messages that Christopher taught Grace.
Grace and Christopher, they kind of bonded over their love for science, and Christopher taught Grace about the fire messages. Cordelia and Lucy, when they were looking for ways to contact the Downworlders, Cordelia thought of a plan. She wanted to go to Edom to save Matthew and James, and she also knew that in order to kill Belial, she needs to stab him one more time. With that said, Cordelia went to Alistair to get Cortana back. She gave it to him, I'm pretty sure in Chain of Iron, or maybe in a big Chain of Thorns, I forgot. She gave it to him because she didn't want to use the sword anymore, because she didn't want to call up Lilith's name. Alistair kept it in the weapons room in the Institute. It has Cortana. She asked Lucy for help because Lucy can talk to the dead. And at first I didn't really know where this was going, but apparently she wanted to call upon Lilith. They called Lilith up in a cemetery, and Lucy, being able to talk to the dead, decided to make a pentagram. It was really smart. So all these dead rose from the grave. They made a pentagram around Lilith and Cordelia as Cordelia negotiated with Lilith about her plan. She wanted to bring Lucy and her to Edom. She also wanted to kill Belial. And the last thing is that she wanted this whole paladin situation to be nullified. And Lilith, because she wanted Edom back, she said yes to everything. Cordelia and Lucy is sent to Edom by Lilith. James and Matthew are currently in Edom. Matthew's having very bad withdrawal symptoms, and so he's not in good shape, and Belial's threatening James to watch Matthew suffer. Belial knows that Matthew's not in good shape, and so he's offering James to send Matthew back to Earth if he would allow Belial to possess James's body. I don't know what's gonna happen because James said no. They're given a day to think about it or Matthew will suffer. Now I'm at a point where Thomas and Alistair are trying to find out how to kill the Watchers. I'll update you guys when I start reading, but right now I'm going to finish my breakfast. I'm gonna do some editing and I hope things will look up from here, to be honest. This is where I last stopped and we are at page 693. Less than 100 pages to the end. Honestly, it's kind of scary to think about it that way because that means this series is ending in less than 100 pages. A part of me is just really devastated and part of me is really excited. But with that being said, let us get into this update. I have read around 80 pages since my last update. Thomas and Alistair found a way to kill the Watchers. Apparently they have this like rune in the back of their neck. All you gotta do is just cut the rune and the demon will leave the Silent Brothers' body. Then you can kill the demon after that. Lucy and Cordelia are at Edom. And Lucy is having a hard time there because she has connections to the dead and there's a lot of death in Edom and she's struggling because she feels so much anguish. But Cordelia and Lucy are finally kind of talking their feelings out because they had a lot of secrets hidden between the two of them, and so in Edom they kind of talk about their feelings and I really like that. Grace and Jesse, they found a way to send the fire messages. Christopher came in sort of like a spirit because Grace was calling for him in desperation since she wasn't going anywhere with the fire messages, and Christopher came in spirit and told Grace that she was good at what she did, that she's capable of continuing his experiments. Grace finally figured it out, and a part of me is kind of like sad because I think Christopher's really dead, and maybe because the family tree was made really long time ago, maybe Cassandra Clare decided to just not keep Christopher alive. So sad. James and Matthew still in Edom. Matthew's still having a very hard time because he's having withdrawal symptoms. Anna and Ariadne, on the other hand, they both have found a way to go to the Silent City. The original entrance that's being used is surrounded by demons, and that's why it's not possible to go through that entrance, but they both found like a different one, the one that was used like back in the Romans. Essentially they're trying to go to the
Adamant Citadel.
That's where the Iron Sisters stay. They found an exit from the Silent City to the Adamant Citadel. Thomas and Alistair, they had such a cute little romantic scene to kiss again. It got a little bit promiscuous. Other than the fact that Thomas got really wounded in the fight with the Watcher, that's all they had. Cordelia and Lucy's trip in Edom is kind of more so explained in the last few pages that I read, and it's just kind of like a trip from where they landed to
Idumea.
But that's where they're supposed to go to. That's where James and Matthew is, and that's where the portal back to London is. The last bit is that Belial has finally possessed James, but James wanted it to happen. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what plan he has, but he wanted it to happen. Also, Cordelia and Lucy found Matthew, so they are now at that said location. I'm so pumped. I'm ready to finish this book. I'm also not ready to finish this book. My feelings are a jumble of mess right now. It's actually currently 10:30, so I need to get started on reading this or I'll end up reading up until midnight, and I kind of want to sleep early today. Yeah, less than 100 pages. We have come to the point where Matthew, Lucy, and Cordelia have finally arrived at London. Anna and Ariadne met up with the rest of the Shadow Hunters who decided to help them save London. James is currently being possessed by Belial, but he still has his consciousness, so he can think on his own, but he cannot act. Right now, I'm at a point where Cordelia is currently rushing towards Westminster Abbey because apparently Belial wants to be crowned King of London. The Watchers are fighting with the Shadow Hunters. According to this book, there are at least 36 Shadow Hunters. That's where I'm at, page 706. I am so scared of what I'm gonna end up reading. Cordelia, Matthew, Thomas, and Alistair with Anna and Ariadne. Their plan is to make Cordelia get as close to Belial as possible. The Watchers have been ordered to keep anyone out of the Abbey, but Cordelia needs to get into contact with Belial. They found another entrance, and as they're about to go in, they realized that the Watchers knew where they were, and I followed them, and Anna and Ariadne stayed behind to like keep the Watchers off while Matthew, Thomas, Alistair, and Cordelia went inside the cathedral. They're so ready to die. I don't want them to die. Lucy like ran. She wanted to find Jesse. She would tell him something after she saw the sigil. Remember when I told you guys that the Watchers can only die when like the sigil is sliced? She recognized it because when she fell into the shadow realm, she saw that in her vision. Lucy has found Jesse, and now she realized that it was not about Belial, but it was about the dead Silent Brothers and Iron Sisters. Those souls are crying out for her, and she is calling out the Silent Brothers and the Iron Sisters to go and help the Shadow Hunters by expelling the demons out of their body. I don't know. Okay, I'm at chapter 35 now, page 722. I'm getting so intense. So Cordelia has finally gotten to Belial, and for a minute there, James took over Belial's conscience, and he told Cordelia to give Cortana to him, and Cordelia trusted him, gave Cortana to him, and he stabbed himself. He plunged the sword into his own heart. I got the fright of my life. I couldn't handle it. I skipped a few pages, and they said he had a pulse. So I don't think he died. My heart is pounding out of my chest. I am done with the last chapter. I am now at page 745. There's this chapter called Coda, and it's actually Jem's perspective, which is cute. I love that. What happened was when James stabbed himself, he killed Belial. Lilith came to stake her claim on Cordelia as her paladin, but because of what she promised, the paladin thing is now nullified. Lucy's begging to the Silent Brothers and the Iron Sisters worked. The demons all escaped the bodies of the Silent Brothers and Iron Sisters, and that's how the Watchers were defeated. Cordelia then healed James with Cortana. As a paladin, you can hurt someone, but you can also heal someone with the same sword. London is back to normal. Everything is back to normal. I am so thankful nothing bad happened. Nobody significant that I cared about died. I'm gonna continue reading, and I'll update you guys when I'm done with the book. I will see you guys in the morning. I finished it. I finished reading this yesterday night. Hi guys, I kind of wanted to talk about what I thought of the book as well as the series in general a few days after I finished reading the book, because I feel like I can articulate my feelings a lot better once I sit on it for a few days. And I have a lot of feelings and thoughts about it. First off, I probably mentioned this, but I didn't really like the love triangle that James, Matthew, and Cordelia were in. It wasn't executed super well. I just felt so much pity for Matthew, and I don't know, I just didn't really feel good about it, so I didn't really like that part. I did mention that I didn't like the plot and the romance of this book as much as the other two books, and I still keep this sentiment. I definitely feel like the first two books did so much better than this one. Even though it didn't feel like 5-star material, I still gave this book 5 stars, only because this series as a whole is still 5 stars. It still holds so much love in my heart, and I still will recommend this to everyone who wants to read this book. But I just didn't really like how the plot was executed. I didn't like how things turned out to be, and there were a lot of things that I felt like weren't explained properly. It didn't really happen properly. Christopher dying, I didn't feel that emotional, it didn't feel that sad. Well, it was sad because obviously he's a part of the Merry Thieves and I love the Merry Thieves so much, but it was as if his death was kind of flown through the pages because there were other important things to talk about, and to me that felt a little bit like, They didn't really explain the pain that James and Matthew went through. They showed a snippet of how Thomas was feeling, but it was glossed over completely. And then this one, in my opinion, kind of was like the downfall, or was the reasoning as to why I had a lot of feelings about this book. The part where James stabbed himself because like he wanted to kill Belial, that part to me felt a little bit anticlimactic. So at the same time, I kind of knew it was gonna happen. Slightly thought about that happening, and it really did happen. I mentioned it in this video, but I like skipped through 2 pages and they confirmed that he wasn't dead. And obviously he wasn't dead, but I thought there would be more drama to it, but there weren't. But also like I kind of guessed it would happen, so maybe it's just a me problem. The epilogue I didn't really enjoy. Everything was told, but there were no scenes of it happening. Matthew telling Charlotte and Henry about his secret in regards to why he became alcoholic. James and Cordelia's wedding runes wasn't explained as well. I felt as if I lost those scenes, and in return I got a shit ton of scenes of their love triangle. That's where I'm at, and that's my thoughts on this book. I still love it. I still feel like it did give me so many emotions. I still loved the series as a whole, but this book kind of was somehow a little bit of a letdown. This is my own thoughts, this is my opinions. It has nothing to do with anybody else's opinions, so you can take it as you will. And yeah, how do I even start? I already feel empty that the series is done, that I have no more James and Cordelia to fall into. This whole of February was filled with the series. I spent so much time. I kind of woke up and went to sleep with the last hours in my head. I definitely feel lost in a sense. It was definitely a happy, beautiful ending. Everyone got their happy ending. Obviously, I got blindsided by that stupid family tree. Cordelia and Alistair's sibling was born. His name is Zachary. It's the last hour series. This is the end of this reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I might be rereading the Mortal Instruments. I had this thought yesterday night. I just love the Shadowhunters world. I cannot believe it has ended. And the Mortal Instruments series is the one that I read first 10 years ago. So I forgot the plot completely. So I thought I would reread it. I might do a reading vlog. We'll see about that. That is all I have for you guys today. Please let me know your thoughts. Please talk to me. We will discuss this book. Oh my gosh, I kind of feel sad that this reading vlog is ending too, because that means that I'm really done with this book. I am gonna be emotional and I'm going to probably fall into a reading slump after this. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Don't forget to comment down below what you liked about the series. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.